Hello, my beautiful friends. Today we are going to talk about the sound of Sagittarius. I wanted to start with the fire signs first because fire signs are it almost feels easier to hear the difference between or hear the distinction in a fire sign because there is so much in a fire sign and it's easily distinguishable. So, as we start with the fire signs and then work our way through, we'll be able to hopefully it will help us understand or help you understand what the sounds of like water and air are more like because fire is so obvious. A fire sign is so obvious. So, today we're going to talk just a little bit about Sagittarius and the sound of Sagittarius. I was talking to a friend last night and have just been really thinking about why it's so important that we are looking at the sound of the moon instead of the sound of the sun. And one of the reasons why is because the sound of the moon is like it is our place from our subconscious, right? So I think remember that the moon is subconscious because when the moon is up, what are we generally doing? We're generally sleeping. And when we're sleeping, we are more connected to our subconscious than we are to anything else. And that is the place where we are going to be connected to what is most and who we are most truly. And the sound of our voice will naturally come from that place. My daughter is a Leo first, and that is her sun sign, and her moon is Sagittarius. Now, she can be very Leo, like in her presentation. She is fantastic on the stage because of her Leo. But when she is in a private setting and she's one on one, her communication is very Sagittarius. And not just her communication, because, like I said, our words just really support the energy that we are and the frequency that our voice carries. So let's talk about Sagittarius. One of the biggest things that I see in or I hear in a Sagittarius sound is this very straightforward, right? So we have Leo, which is very expressive. You're going to hear a lot of ups and downs. They're going to be like incredible storytellers because and they really engage a story and they engage that story with the frequency with the sound of their voice more so than they do with the words. Other signs will use the words and looking at the chart and communication. Some people are really, really good writers, but they don't have a Leo moon. And so that's why. So when you've got sound and you're listening to communication, a Leo voice is really going to pull you in to the excitement of the story. Aries creates movement. So Aries really creates that movement. And so this is the distinction between the two. Like I say, okay, this is a really great way. When before I learned how to manage my anger and frustration, if I was angry, the entire house knew. And it was just like, boom, right? But when my daughter, Sagittarius, when she's angry, it's like this boom, and it is directed right at the person. A lot of times it's me, right? Because I'm mom, but it's directed right at that person. And she's just like, I'm mad. I am mad at you. And you feel it, like I will feel it, and it will be very obvious because it is just like this straight punch, right? So I hope that I hope that makes sense. And it's different than a dynamic of the Aries, which is creating the movement. Fight the direct, like straightforwardness isn't necessarily designed. It doesn't sound like the frequency is not designed to create movement in the other person. It's just feels and sounds more like it's hitting home and like it hits its target, like an arrow, right? Straight dab, like smack dab in the middle of a target. It is also Sagittarius, also they're very independent. So when with the sound of their voice, like, and someone, when they are talking about something, they won't be swayed. And you will hear that in their voice. There just won't be any question. And it really supports this very straight forward kind of energy. And again, this is the frequency. It's not necessarily just the words that they are creating. Like, I think if you can think of someone who you have had a conversation with where you're like, they are not budging, which is a little bit different than a Taurus, because a Taurus is very grounded. And I will get to Taurus. Taurus is going to be the next video that I do. But it's very different because it's just like Sagittarius. The Sagittarius sound is just like, and not taking in all of the other things around me and just like straightforward. So I hope that helps understand the sound of Sagittarius, the sound of Sagittarius, the moon in Sagittarius through the voice. I want you to comment below. Tell me, are you a Sagittarius? How do you see this showing up in your life? If you are a Sagittarius, tell me, what house are you in? Generally, when we are like our moon sign, our moon voice is going to be displayed most easily, like we will hear it the most in the house that it's in. So my house is in, my moon is in the second house, right? And my daughter's Sagittarius is in the first house about herself. So when it comes to herself, she is just like, boom, straightforward, no messing around. This is what I will do. This is what I won't do. Like hands down, right? So tell me, what house is your Sagittarius in? Do you have a child with their moon in Sagittarius? And do you see this showing up in their life? Okay, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for the rest of these fun, fabulous videos about the sound of the signs in your voice.